What's up, everybody? Sunday night. I'm kidding, it's Monday night at the homestead, and I'm doing Sunday night duties. So, one of the requests I've gotten is to share my recipe for homemade dog food. So that's what I'm going to do. I got into it because my dogs need to eat healthier. And if you're wondering why it's called Two Dogs Urban Homestead, it's because these dogs run the place and we're in the middle of the city. So, with that being said, I'm going to kind of walk you through it, give you all the ingredients, what I use. Feel free to tweak it to whatever you need or you feel you need. I am not a vet. This is not advice for any kind of health problems. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, I've got all my ingredients here. This is a process. It takes about 2 hours. Do it every Sunday. The dogs sit out here begging and watching and waiting because they love it and they eat healthier than we do. So, I have ground turkey, a dozen eggs. I have a packet of frozen beef liver, which I thaw out and I put into the food processor. I've got a tiny little food processor. So I'm putting those in with 4 cups of water to start. I've also got a package of sweet potatoes that I've chopped up. You can use 3 large ones. I use a package. I go shopping where it's affordable. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. I've got 4 cups of brown rice. I have got a half a can of pumpkin puree. No spices involved. I've got about a cup of oats. They're just quick oats. I've got about a container of blueberries like you'd normally buy in the store. I've got about the same size in cranberries. I have got 1 package of baby carrots, a frozen package of broccoli, a frozen package of green beans, a frozen package of peas. I go frozen just because it's easier for me to store things. So I also grind up my own eggshells. So these eggs came from our chickens. I usually grind up the eggshells. Once I'm done, I can make another video on how to do that if you'd like. But I've got probably a half a cup of ground up powdered eggshells. I got about 2 teaspoons of turmeric, about a teaspoon of black pepper. The black pepper helps the turmeric absorb into the body. I have got 2 tablespoons of olive oil and about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So all this is going to go in there. Like I said, they probably eat healthier than we do. Sometimes I substitute the turkey for chicken or ground beef. It just depends on what you want to do and what I'm feeling like. So first thing I'm going to do before I put this turkey in this pressure cooker, so I pressure cook these first. I put in 4 cups of water just to give it some juice, some extra juice. And then I put the ground turkey in and put it all in. There is 6 pounds of ground turkey here. That's typically what I tend to buy. Dogs are carnivores, omnivores. They need meat. So that's what I do. And just so you have a helpful hint, I usually do my dishes as I'm going because otherwise it's overwhelming and I don't want to do them at the end and then I try to ignore them and it doesn't work. So I am doing the dishes once I'm starting on the next process. So I put the beef liver, the turkey, get that in there, and the eggs into the pressure cooker. And I'm going to cook this on high for 25 minutes. So before I start it, I am going to kind of stir it up because a lot of times my pressure cooker will yell at me that food is burning because it likes to stick to things. So I am going to start that and I will see you guys when that's done in about half an hour. And then we can start the rest of this process. Actually, let me start that over. I have 2 pots. So I got a stock pot and I got the pressure cooker. So with the pressure cooker, I'm doing all the meats and the proteins to start. So while that's waiting, I am putting the blueberries, the cranberries, the eggshells, the turmeric, the black pepper, the olive oil, the coconut oil. Let me find another spatula here. And this is in solid form right now. It will melt as the heat gets in here. And I don't know if I said pumpkin, but I use a half a can of pumpkin. So I put that in there with it. And this all sits and waits for the protein to get done. As soon as that's done, I'll mix it up and start the next process. So I will see you guys in just a little bit. But about 35 minutes because my pressure cooker decided to yell at me, food burnt again. So I have to unplug it. I have to open it up. I have to scrape the food down. It's all good. So 35 minutes later, I'm ready. One thing I will say is when you release the steam out of your pressure cooker, do not try to force the lid off. If you get it off, as affordable as this food can be, you're going to spend a whole lot of money on an ambulance ride. So, that being said, once it has depressurized, you can take the lid off. It looks like ground beef, I guess. So I just take and I'm usually working the other way. I'm right-handed, so it's a little awkward on this side, but that's okay. So I have this handy dandy favorite tool for doing this. It is a scoop. It's like a ladle, skimmer. I don't know what you want to call it. So I just scoop everything out and put it with the stuff that I put in the stock pot. With that being said, if you have questions about how much stock pots or pressure cookers cost, they can be affordable. I personally like to go to estate sales, secondhand shops. Goodwill is in every state, all over the place. I find really good deals because I don't want to pay top dollar. I would love to have the best stuff, and sometimes you got to work with what you got. Anybody that tells you you're using the wrong stuff, it's your kitchen, your rules, right? That's what I say. So, I get all of the beef liver out. I get all of the turkey out, or ground beef, or chicken, or what have you that you're using. Or sometimes you can mix them up, but I just make sure they're 6 pounds. And after I get all of this out, I leave the juice in there because I have to pressure cook the veggies next and the rice. So if you do not have a pressure cooker, you could use a stovetop, and you could use a stock pot on the stovetop and cook this down. It would be the same thing. I just have invested with the pressure cooker because it's easier for me. So now that we've got all of the protein out of there, the first thing I do is I put the carrots in just because I feel like the bottom part of this pressure cooker gets the hottest and the carrots are the hardest. So I like to do that, take off my glasses because they're steaming up. On top of the carrots, I put the sweet potatoes. I usually don't have any of this put into containers before I do it. I go as I go. And as I'm cutting the potatoes, the dogs like to be thrown pieces of them because they're spoiled. So I put in the carrots, I put in the sweet potatoes. Next, I put in the 4 cups of rice. Just for a tip, I buy bulk brown rice. That way, it's always there. It's way more convenient, way easier, way more affordable. Cost me about $20 for a 25-pound bag of it. It lasts me a good 2-3 months. On top of the rice, I'm going to put the oatmeal, the quick oats, whatever you want to call it. It's good for their skin. On top of that, I am putting the green beans. I would like to get to a point to where I can my own green beans and freeze my own green beans. I'm just not there yet. With the pumpkin, it's easy to buy pumpkin in cans at the stores, but they don't always have it in stock because sometimes it's seasonal. So my plan in the future is to can my own pumpkin puree. It's pretty affordable when you go to, in the fall, you'll go to, I don't know, pumpkin patches. They sell pumpkin pie pumpkins. Those are the ones you want to can with. So I've got all my veggies in here. Next, I am going to add more water. It's about 4 cups, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. I just want to get it to the point to where it's sitting level with the top of the veggies. And then I start the process over again with the pressure cooker. Like I said, you could do it on the stove, in a pan, your choice, your rules. I just do whatever is most convenient for myself. So I'm going to pressure cook it on high for 25 minutes. I take the warmer off because I don't need it to stay warm because I'm working on this. I chop all of this up so the meat is a consistent, I don't know, just so there's no big chunks in it. Stir it up. It'll start turning blue because the blueberries kind of gray. It looks a little funky, but that's okay. It's all going to the same place. The dogs don't mind. They're going to eat it anyways. I really just like to provide them with the nutrients they need. I have ran my recipe by my veterinarian that I take the dogs to, and she is super happy for it. Says it works. So I also supplement joint chews for the one because he's 10, he's got hip issues. The other one, he's young, he's good for right now. So yeah, that being said, I'm gonna wait for this pressure canner to finish and we will get back to this process. I will see you guys then. All right, welcome back everybody. It's been another about 35 minutes. This time the pressure cooker didn't yell at me because the food didn't stick to it. So, word of warning, because some people need a couple of warning labels, is do not try to open that pressure cooker unless it is depressurized. It's not going to go well. So don't burn yourself, don't hurt yourself. Sometimes we just have to learn some lessons. Anyways, so I got it out of the pressure cooker. I put it in the stock pot. I mixed it all up. Make sure that you mix it really, really well, or otherwise you're going to have giant chunks of meat on the bottom. And then you'll have a container of meat and no veggies or rice or anything else in it. So I use these. It's about 2.5 cups packed in there. So what I do is I feed my dogs each twice a day. They get 2.5 cups of food. So they each get a half of one of these and just over a cup of dry food. I still feed them dry food. I looked at the cost it would cost me, and it wasn't really about the cost, it was more about the effort because this takes a couple hours anyways and I don't want to spend a half a day making dog food. So start where you can, do what you can, every little bit counts, right? So your dogs will love you for it. So I just pack these full. Each one of these is half a meal, so I go through 2 a day. This makes approximately 8 days worth of food at that ratio. The dogs love it. They'll love you for it. Yeah, so I just pack it in there, stack these up, wait for them to cool down. It lasts about a week in the fridge. I said 8 days, somewhere about a week. So that's what I will say. Like I said, I can't diagnose, treat. I have no medical professional license. I have nothing. This is for entertainment purposes only. And I am finding what works for me and mine. So If you have any questions, please consult your vet for the sake of your dog. Don't just rely on somebody on the internet because it's your job to do your research. I just wanted to provide the best type of life I could for the dogs and be as healthy as they could while they're still alive, because they're not here forever. So, I appreciate you guys watching, and please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. I will be doing some more recipes, some family recipes. We do a lot of projects around the house. This channel is called Two Dogs Urban Homestead. Our businesses are Urban Arcana Homestead and Mounted Magic Pottery. So we have a pottery studio in the basement, and Brian, the other part of my homestead, works really hard on making pottery. We sell it. It's doing pretty well. So I appreciate you guys following me, and till next time, take care of yourselves, take care of your dogs. A couple more things before I actually let you go. If you're wondering about the cost, this every week that I buy the ingredients for the food costs me between $28 and $32. So it's pretty affordable. They are dogs. There's cheaper ways to go. You don't have to add as many ingredients. Figure out your own recipe. Figure out what works for you. And I've been doing this for 3 years every weekend. So my dogs are healthy, happy. Yeah, and I'm blessed. Thanks.